Good morning. We now begin with Standard 4th English, Unit 3, Part 2. Lesson's name is Nashruddin's Aim. Let us begin with few meanings. First one, chatting, friendly talk. Second, archery, shooting with bow and arrow. Third, string, rope. Fourth, target, goal. Fifth, defending, protect from danger. Sixth, amazement, surprise. Seventh, triumphantly, victory. Answer the following. Question 1. What did Nashruddin boast about? Answer 1. Nashruddin boasted about his skill in archery. I repeat, Nashruddin boasted about his skill in archery. Question 2. Why did Nashruddin take someone else's name each time he missed the target? Answer 2. Nashruddin did so to defend himself. He didn't want to show his failure in his skill of archery. So, he took someone else's name each time he missed the target. I repeat, Nashruddin did so to defend himself. He didn't want to show his failure in his skill of archery. So, he took someone else's name each time he missed the target. Question 3. Why did Nashruddin say, "It was my aim," the third time? Answer 3. He was lucky in his third attempt. He successfully hit the target. So he said, "It was my aim." I repeat, he was lucky in his third attempt. He successfully hit the target. So he said, "It was my aim." Question 4. Do you think Nashruddin was good at archery? Answer 4. I don't think Nashruddin was good at archery. He only boasted about it before his friends. I repeat, I don't think Nashruddin was good at archery. He only boasted about it before his friends. Now, children, let us do few textual exercises. Now, in this exercise, we have to match the both the sides with the meaning of the word given to your left. You can see those arrows. Those are the words, and we have to match them with the meaning on the next side. First, children, we write numbers where all the circles are written. So let us first write all the numbers. The second circle is talking informally. Third, protecting from attack. Fourth, great surprise. Fifth, happily and proudly. And sixth is the goal intended to be hit. So now, what is written in the arrow? The first arrow is written chatting. Second is amazement. Third is archery. Fourth is defending. Fifth is target. Sixth is triumphantly. So now accordingly we will match. So the first arrow says chatting. So the meaning of chatting is talking informally. So we write 2. The second one is amazement. The meaning of amazement is great surprise. So there we write 4. Third one is archery. The meaning of archery is shooting with a bow and arrow. The fourth one, defending. Defending, the meaning is protecting from attack. Then the fifth one, target. Target, the meaning is the goal intended to be hit. So we write there 6. And the last one is triumphantly. The meaning of triumphantly means happily and proudly. So there we write 5. The next exercise, replace the bold word or words with a word from the quiver and rewrite the sentences. Now children, quiver, as you can see in the picture, that brown color box in which arrows can be kept, that box we say it is a quiver. And now what have we to do here? As we see, there are 3 sentences, and in the 3 sentences few words are written in dark black handwriting. So those words have to be replaced with the 3 words which are written on the box of that quiver. Means the meaning we have to change it and rewrite again. So in the box is written target, certainly, remarked on. And the 3 sentences are, the first one is, in no time she hit the object she aimed at. So aimed at, what is the meaning of aiming? That will be target. Second one, Nasruddin was surely not a good archer. Surely means certainly, correct. The third one, the teacher said something about his good handwriting. He felt very happy. Said something about means teacher remarked on his handwriting that they are very good. So now I am sure you understood. Now let us write again with the correct answer. The first one, in no time she hit the object she aimed at. So the meaning of object she aimed at means the target. So we need to write it again. In no time she hit the target. Next one, Nasruddin was surely not a good archer. Surely means certainly. Now let us write again. Nasruddin was certainly not a good archer. The third one, the teacher said something about his good handwriting. He felt very happy. So something about is remarked on. So write again. The teacher remarked on his good handwriting. He felt very happy. We can now see a picture of a boy. This picture is of Rahul Gupta. He is given a name. Now on the next slide, you will see that there are few clues given about this boy Rahul Gupta. So according to those clues which are given to us, we have to write a paragraph about this boy. So now let us see what clues are given about him. The clues are Indian, cricket, 8 hours, practices, eats healthy food, runs 2 kilometers every day, batsman. So these are the clues, and with the help of these words we have to write around 4 to 5 lines in the space which is provided to us. So now let us start. Use these words and write few lines about Rahul Gupta. Let's start. We begin with Rahul Gupta is a well-known batsman in Indian cricket. So we use the word Indian. Okay. He practices for 8 hours every day. He eats healthy food and runs 2 kilometers every day. He is become a very famous batsman. So we have used all the clues that were given to us in the above box, and we have made these 5 lines, 3 sentences about Rahul Gupta. Now in this exercise, it shows 6 pictures we can see of a father, mother, Sita, grandma, grandpa and Rajiv. So this is Rajiv's family. They are a very healthy family. See what each one does to remain healthy. So in the picture we can see that who is doing what. So now father, he's lifting weight, the mother is doing yoga, the sister is skipping, grandpa is going for walk, grandmother's drinking milk, and Rajiv is also running. So all are very healthy. So now based on this pictures, we have to do the next exercise. Use the words and or but and make as many sentences as you can about Rajiv's family. Now we have to join the family members, means any mother, father, sister, brother, or grandma and grandpa, and make sentences, and we have to join them with and or but. For example, grandpa and grandma, we are using and there. Get up early in the morning. Grandpa is walking, but Rajiv is jogging. So both the sentences we've joined with either and or but. So now we have to make few more sentences about these family. So let us do that. The next sentence we make about father and mother. So we join it. Father and mother do exercises to remain healthy. So here we are using and. Very good. The second one. Father is lifting weights, but mother is doing yoga. Now here we have joined both with but. Why but? Because both are doing different activities. So we've joined the sentence with but. The fourth one. Rahul is jogging and Sita is skipping. They both are also doing different activities and they are joining with and. Fifth one. Grandpa is walking, but grandma is drinking milk. So all the sentences we've written comparing two of them, and we've joined it with either and or but. I'm sure you will enjoy doing this exercise. We have to fill in the grid with words given in the block. You can use one word more than once. So you can use that word 2 or 3 times also. Now what is given to us in that brown log? A stick, ball, stadium, bat ball, football, 11, table, 2 to 4, racket and ground. Now there is a table down, we can see the name of games. Which games are they? Cricket, hockey, table tennis and football. And now with the help of the clues given to us, we have to fill in the columns. What are those columns asking us to do? They are saying what you play with, cricket you play with what? Then where do you play cricket? And how many players are there in the cricket? So I am sure without my help also you will be able to do this exercise. But still let us do it all together. Okay. Let's start. What do you play cricket with? Correct. Bat ball. What do you play hockey with? A stick and a ball. Stick means hockey stick. Right. What do you play table tennis with? You need a table, a ball and a racket. Those small rackets where we use for table tennis. And what do you play football with? A football. Okay. Now the next column. Where do you play cricket? It is played on a ground or in a stadium. Now, where do you play hockey, table tennis and football? They are all played in a stadium. Okay, the second column is also filled. The third one. The number of players in a cricket is, right, 11. Hockey, 11. Table tennis, 2 or 4. 2 also can play and it can be played in a team of doubles. So 2 or 4. And football also have 11 players. So excellent. We knew all the answers. Very good. Using the information in the grid, write a sentence about each game. One has been done for you. So for example, each game means which game? Cricket, hockey, table tennis and football. So now see how they have written for cricket. Cricket is an outdoor game. Outdoor game, it is not played in the house. It is played outside the house in a stadium or a ground. So we say it is an outdoor game. We play it with a bat and ball. There are 11 players in this game. So based on these sentences, the same way we need to write about hockey, table tennis and football in the place provided. So B, we have to write about hockey. So let us write about hockey. Hockey is an outdoor game. We play it with a stick and a ball. There are 11 players in this game. So based on the clue of cricket, we could write about hockey. Now on the next page, we have to write about table tennis and football in the place provided. Now here in C, we will write about table tennis, and D, we will write football. I am sure now even you children can write it by yourself. But let us do the needful. The C, table tennis is an indoor game. We play it using a table, a racket and a ball. There are 2 to 4 players in this game. And next is football. Football is an indoor or an outdoor game? Correct, it is an outdoor game. We play it with a football, correct. There are 11 players in this game. The following words are used in various sports. List them under the sports that they are used in. Now there are certain terms given to us which we hear them when certain sports are played. For example, googly, penalty, goal, free kick, LBW, penalty, corner. So these words are used for which sport? For example, hockey, cricket or football. So we need to write it in this table. So which terms we use in hockey? Goal and penalty, corner. For cricket, googly, LBW. And for football, we use goal and free kick. So these are the terms that we hear when these games are played. So children, I hope you have understood all the meanings, question answers and exercises. So your homework is you need to write the new words, meanings and question answers in your English notebook, and all the textual exercises which has place in the textbook to write, you complete them in your textbook, and remember to write neatly. So thank you and have a very nice day.